So Star Wars is still a thing, and they're still trying to make movies and shows and get their fan base, I guess, back on track. And the next Star Wars movie that's going to shoot is called Starfighter. This is the one that's coming from Shawn Levy and the writing partner that Shawn had for the Adam Project, which I think is pretty cool. I know there are a lot of mixed feelings about this. You know, frankly, a lot of the Star Wars fans are a little less enthused than I would have expected to have the Deadpool and Wolverine guy directing their next big film. But at the same time, I understand it. It's a different sensibility. Deadpool Wolverine is very Marvel, borderline slop and a cameo fest. And it's just, we're not sure if that's actually going to translate to Star Wars. On top of that, getting an A-lister like Ryan Gosling, like I love Ryan Gosling, but that's not a Star Wars thing. Star Wars does not go after A-list actors. Other than Harrison Ford back in the day, everybody was pretty much an unknown. That was done intentionally, and it was done so that you didn't see the actor, so that you could just totally get absorbed into the character of the story in this really science fiction world. So Starfighter, definitely a different kind of film. And I've been optimistic, but also like I've heard Rey's going to pop up in this thing, which is a totally different thing. However, yesterday, big news out of Deadline, guys. Matt Smith has been cast as the villain, and I think it would be the main villain of this movie. Now, there's a couple of different reasons this is crazy. So first off, let's talk about what the leaks and the rumors are for the film so far. The leaks and rumors are that Gosling will be some kind of a Jedi warrior, and he's going to be having like a nephew or whatever that he's trying to teach the ways of the Force to. I think that's the way it was first described. And there is a female and male team of villains, very likely evil Sith type characters. Now, originally this was going to be Jesse Plemons and Mia Goth. I believe Mia Goth is still attached, but Jesse Plemons ended up passing on the film. But instead, it looks like they got Matt freaking Smith. So let's think about this. So you've got Matt Smith as the main kind of Sith villain of this movie, with Mia Goth as his potential romantic partner and also probably partner in crime. And then you have Gosling, who's probably going to be like, your average Joe Jedi. I kind of see him as a Kenobi-esque type of a figure, not necessarily the most competent or whatever, but, pretty decent or whatever. And he's going to be trying to protect this young protagonist, this young male protagonist, from what I've heard, which is likely to be either his nephew or connected to him by blood in some way. Okay, so all of that sounds really good, but here's the thing. When you cast Matt Smith as the main villain of this film, and especially because we've heard that it's going to be like a Sith-esque, evil dark Jedi kind of a person, most of the hardcore Star Wars fans, their mind is immediately going to go to Rise of Skywalker because Matt Smith was originally cast to play a young Palpatine. Yeah, there's all kind of rumors about it. It's kind of been soft confirmed here and there. I won't go into the full details about it, but of course, Palpatine returns in The Rise of Skywalker. There was a version of the script that was going to have him return into a younger body, and you were going to see Matt Smith portray a young Palpatine, basically a clone of Palpatine that he would go into, like his spirit would go into, and he was going to be like, young Palpatine, which is actually what happens in that comic book run, the one they kind of base the Rise of Skywalker off of. I can't really remember what it is. It has all like the dark art, like with all the greens, and Luke goes to the dark side with the Emperor. I forget what it's called. There's all the clones of the Emperor. Anyway, point is this. When you cast Matt Smith, I can't help but think, are you doing that Palpatine shit again? And here's the thing. Like, on the one hand, like, no way, right? Like, there's no way they're really going to go right back to the Palpatine well. However, a lot of the material that has come out in the canon, like the comics and the novels, since The Rise of Skywalker, has continued to hint at Palpatine's possible return, which I know is crazy, but it is out there. Like, there's a lot to suggest that potentially Palpatine would be back in some way. Now, we just got a story the other day from Daniel RPK that the future of Star Wars is basically a bunch of Rey movies. They want to do it like the Mando-verse, and it's going to build into some big event thing in the modern era with the sequel trilogy characters. So they want to do something big with the sequel trilogy characters and lead into this big thing. Well, I don't know, man. I almost can't believe we're even back here speculating about this and having this conversation. But technically speaking, connecting Palpatine, like if he seriously cannot die and he comes back again and starts causing all this trouble, damn, like that is potentially a big crazy thing that you could lead to. I've often thought maybe what they're doing with Abeloth would potentially be connected to what they're doing with Rey and the sequel characters in the modern era. So that's like the first thing that comes to mind. We got to talk about that because, dude, it's just going to be out there now. And until we know more, it's going to be a theory that is out there. By the way, like, there's nothing out there that says this is real. Like, nobody's really hinted that he's going to be Palpatine, but I think a lot of folks are having this same reaction to it, right? Which is pretty crazy. Now, on the merits of this in of itself, like not connected to the Palpatine rumor, but just Matt Smith and Ryan Gosling, guys, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know, man. This is a great pick. I love Matt Smith. I think he's incredible in House of the Dragon. He ate it up in Morbius. He's been good in a lot of stuff that I've seen him in. I think he's like an underrated actor, truly. And I think this kind of a film, getting him as the main villain, it's number one, I think it's an incredible get for the movie. He's going to be a great villain. He'll be great on the press tour. He's great with fans. He's going to play across from Ryan Gosling really well. These two people together, like, you know, again, the Morbius movie is utter shit, but Leto and Matt Smith do have some great scenes together, and Matt Smith is a good actor. You know, he's able to do some incredible stuff in the House of the Dragon series, a lot of nuance in the performance there. So these two dudes are absolute studs. They're incredible actors, and just based off of like the performance, I think they're both going to be able to bring to it, and the chemistry they're going to have, it's a really good get for the film. I also think Matt Smith is really good with sword combat, right? So obviously a ton of training for House of the Dragon, and he plays a character that's supposed to be like one of the best duelists in the entire series. So he's probably done a lot of work to just try to emulate that in his physical performance on the screen, and probably spent a lot of time with different coordinators and martial artists and whatever. So it's cool because he's Daemon Targaryen, incredible duelist and dragon rider, right, from that high fantasy series, and now he's coming into Star Wars. And legitimately, guys, the rumors are that he will be playing a Sith or red lightsaber dark Jedi kind of a dude. That is kind of cool. Even if it's not Palpatine, I think it's pretty cool. And we could be, I mean, dare I say it, you know, I almost don't even want to say it, but dare I say it, we could be cooking. Shawn Levy is a really good actor, or a really good director. He has vision. The thing I keep coming back to with this film is that Shawn could have done anything. Like, legitimately, he made one of the biggest movies in the past couple of years, maybe the biggest movie of the past couple of years in Deadpool and Wolverine. When you have success like that, every door in the industry opens for you. He legitimately could have done anything he wanted. I know there were some projects at Marvel they were offering him and things he was interested in. Shawn Levy decided to do this Star Wars movie, and that's always stuck with me considering the opportunities that he had. It means to me that he really wanted this one, that he has a very strong pitch for it, and that has me pretty excited. So I know there's some skepticism out there, but I think this casting is actually incredible. It opens the door for some cool Palpatine theories, which is kind of fun. But even if that does not end up materializing, I think this is an incredible get for the film. I can't wait to learn more about this character, to see what he looks like, to, you know his mannerisms. Is he going to have armor? You know, are they going to have like tattoos? Like, what's the deal with this? Who is this guy? How could he be a Sith after the fall of the First Order, after the fall of Palpatine, after the fall of the Empire? How can the Sith still exist, and what does that look like exactly? Pretty interesting stuff here. So just wanted to touch on that. I can't believe it, but I'm actually kind of getting excited for the Shawn Levy Starfighter Star Wars movie. What about you? What do you think?